You know how some guns look good on paper until they start choking in mud or cracking, especially when you need them most? Preppers love to argue online about the best SHTF firearms, but few bother to ask, are these guns actually field-worthy when everything breaks down? What if the guns everyone swears by are the ones that will let you down? In this video, we'll talk about the most overrated SHTF guns preppers keep praising and what real-world alternatives give you better odds when the lights go out. We're not just roasting the usual suspects, we're talking hard field evidence, ammo logistics, weight, repairs, and survival-specific realities most armchair warriors ignore. We'll look at rimfire rifles that jam once they get dirty, battle carbines that become boat anchors in the backwoods, and everything in between. We'll cover 8 overhyped firearms and offer better alternatives you can count on. You'll see why people keep buying the Ruger 1022 Takedown, the SIG P220, the AR-10, and others, only to realize too late they've packed a liability, not a lifesaver. This isn't about gear flexing, it's about surviving. So let's tear into the myths. Number 1. Ruger 1022 Takedown. Everybody loves this little carbine. It breaks in half, stows under a truck seat, and has 60 years of rimfire heritage. For a bug-out bag, a lightweight 22 that shoots straight and eats cheap ammo feels perfect. A brand new stainless Takedown lists at $559, and upgrades are endless. That's the pitch. But in actual field use, the romance fades. Blowback actions gag on sand, unburned powder, and waxed lube shaving, and the split receiver invites grime right where the bolt and barrel meet. Spend a week without solvent, and that nifty locking cam starts to loosen. Groups spread, and zero drifts. Rotary magazines are reliable until a cracked feed lip or weak spring turns the rifle into a single shot. When the squirrel pot is empty and you're down to the last brick of bargain ammo, stoppages cost food. Another nagging issue is interchangeability of parts. The Takedown family uses proprietary barrel blocks, extractors, and magazine latches, so cannibalizing a standard 1022 or scrounging rural gun show bins won't guarantee spares. Field repairs become guesswork if a locking cam pin shears or the guide rod bends. In a true grid down event, you'll want a rifle built from generic screws and springs, not one that demands factory cut geometry to keep cycling. I'd rather carry a Rossi RS22, usually $150 on sale, or a Henry Classic lever for about $400. Both run on the same 22 LR, but manual cycling shrugs off filth and you can pour spent cases out, wipe the chamber with a t-shirt corner, and keep hunting. The lever even lets you shoot CB caps or shot shells, all without worrying that a takedown joint has gone sloppy. Number 2. KelTec Sub 2000. The Sub 2000 has been dazzling gun shows for years. Push a latch, fold it to 16 inches, and slide it into a day pack. The Gen 3 even folds around a red dot without losing zero. MSRP sits at $511, and Glock mag compatibility means you already own the feed system. Shooting one for a season tells a harsher story. The polymer stock flexes, the charging handle bites fingers, and the 5-pound trigger feels like dragging a cinder block through gravel. After a few hundred rounds, the hinge tolerances grow, yielding vertical stringing that no amount of optic shimming fixes. Blowback recoil in a 4-pound gun makes rapid double sloppy. Reliability isn't disastrous, yet when the carbine is your lifeline, pretty good isn't good enough. User serviceability also suffers. The Sub 2000's recoil tube is pinned, the Takedown latch spring is proprietary, and both require roll pin punches most people never pack. Lose tension in that tiny latch spring and the whole folding premise collapses, literally. I swapped mine for the Ruger PC carbine. Street price hovers around $649. It still drinks from Glock mags, but the receiver is steel. The bolt rides on dead blow weights, and the barrel locks into a rigid trunnion. Mine has gone 3,000 rounds without a cleaning and still prints 2-inch groups with cheap 115 grain ball. Ruger ships spare extractor claws, firing pins, and takedown screws everywhere, and those swaps take a multi-tool in 5 minutes. When you must improvise in the field, simple dovetails beat captive roll pins every time. Granted, it weighs more, but the heft soaks recoil and stabilizes the dot, which matters when adrenaline spikes and hits must land now, not after a yoga routine with a folding latch. Number 3. Mossberg 590A1. If a pump gun 1 won every internet argument, the 590A1 would rule the wasteland. Heavy walled barrel, Parkerized steel, metal safety, and it meets mil-spec 3443G. Prices run $770 to $1,169 depending on furniture. It's a trench gun that never quits, so surely it's the ultimate barricade blaster. The snag is weight. A 20-inch 9-shot tips past 8 pounds empty. Toss in 9 double-aught buck shells, each over an ounce, and you're lugging a 10-pound shoulder canyon, plus a rucksack of additional shells that look like batteries. Recoil punishes smaller shooters, and reloads under stress feel like feeding quarters into an arcade. In a static home defense role, the 590A1 shines. On foot, it's dead weight. I'd rather have a Chiappa M6 22-410 and a set of caliber inserts. The M6 runs $600, but a plain H&R single shot can be found used for $150. Pop in an Excalibur adapter kit, and that break action fires 22 long rifle, 9mm, 410, and even 20 gauge. The gun weighs under 5 pounds, breaks in 2 for pack carry, and sips whatever ammo you scavenge. One shot demands discipline, yet the ability to drop a rabbit with a quiet 22 or launch a slug at 50 yards covers more real survival tasks than a 30-inch pattern of buckshot you can't afford to haul. Number 4. SIG P220 Legion. SIG's P220 Legion feels like a bespoke watch. Gray PVD slide, G10 grips, short reset trigger, and flawless machining. MSRP is $1,413, usually seen around $1,199. The single action pull flirts with 4.5 pounds. The reset is telepathic, and 45 ACP hits with authority. Owners rave that 8 rounds of big bore perfection beat 15 of anything else. In practice, 45 is heavy, loud, and pricey. Spare 8-round magazines cost $50. The all-metal frame weighs 30 ounces empty, and double-action first shots require training most folks never do. Worse, Legion-specific parts aren't hanging on pawn shop pegboards after a collapse. Another hidden cost is caliber segregation within a team. If just one person lugs a 45, everyone must stock the heavier round, complicating caching and resupply plans. Mixing magazine types also slows emergency reloads. The flat-top 45 mag won't ride in the same pouch that feeds double-stack 9s. A unified sidearm caliber keeps gear common, simplifies training drills, and lets you consolidate spare parts instead of spreading resources across multiple pistol ecosystems. I downsized to a Glock 19 Gen 5. MSRP list at $599. Mags are $20, and I can shove 17 of them in a cargo pocket. The polymer frame shrugs rain and mud, and every Farmtown hardware store stocks 9mm during normal times, which means it'll be the last caliber to disappear entirely. A 9mm plus P load through modern hollow points equals or beats old school 45 ball, and the lighter recoil means tighter splits and faster follow-ups when both you and the target are moving. Prestige doesn't plug leaks. Capacity and common parts do. Number 5. Lever Action 357-38. A saddle gun paired with a wheel gun sounds perfect. 1 cartridge, 2 guns, seamless logistics. New Marlin 1894s list near $1,300, and Rossi R92s around $750. Tubular mags keep brass tidy, and a slick lever cycles 38 soft as a rimfire. For calm afternoons on the homestead, it's charming and functional. But on the trail, the cracks show fast. Reloading under stress means jamming 1 round at a time through a stiff side gate. Mixed 38 and 357 links can nosedive and jam the carrier, requiring tools or disassembly to fix. That Cowboy charm quickly evaporates in a real crisis. Internals are a Rubik's Cube of tiny screws and springs nobody keeps spares for. Add a scout rail and the rifle becomes nose heavy, yet mounting optics remains awkward thanks to side ejection. You end up with a rifle as heavy as an AR, but limited to revolver ammo. What you gain in nostalgia, you lose in range, volume of fire, and field serviceability. Suppressor use is another sore spot. Most 357 levers wear narrow barrels with extended mag tubes, leaving no clean space for threading. Adapters exist, but they push balance forward and tend to work loose after a few shots. Just get a Mini 14. It runs $1,279 and accepts standard 1/2x28 threads out of the box, letting you mount any common suppressor or flash hider. No weird angles, no tuning required. In a real SHTF setting, quiet kills and fast follow-ups matter more than aesthetics. It also feeds from 30-round steel mags and strips down with a bullet tip. Built to be abused and easy to keep running. It's the workhorse lever fans wish they had packed. Number 6. AR-15. America's America crowned the AR-15 the king of preparedness. Parts bins overflow, training courses revolve around it, and prices start around $650 for a basic carbine. With a free float rail and a red dot, the AR feels unbeatable, light, modular, and fast. But under stress or in harsh conditions, its flaws crawl out of the woodwork. Mine froze solid one February night after condensation iced the buffer spring. A snapped gas ring, lost cotter pin, or fouled bolt can sideline the whole system until you have the right part and a clean surface to work on. Cleaning fixes those issues, sure, but cleaning gear doesn't last forever and isn't always on hand in the field. The platform's reliance on tight tolerances and finicky springs makes it a range king, not a survival brute. Worse, 5.56 NATO zips through soft tissue but loses steam fast in windshields, car doors, or heavy clothing. A hog might keep charging. So what's a better alternative? Well, something like the Palmetto State Armory AK-104 Zukov U pistol. PSA listed at $849.99. It runs a 12.5-inch nitride barrel, hammer-forged trunnion, bolt, and carrier, and it comes with plumb Magpul furniture and a side-folding rear trunnion. Not to mention, the 7.62x39 delivers superior terminal energy. When the grid's gone, simple hits harder. Number 7. AR-10. While it's easy to see why the AR-10 gets a lot of love in SHTF circles, semi-auto, magazine-fed, battle-proven platform with 308 punch, on paper, it's a dream setup. You get serious range, power to drop large game or punch through barriers, and the comfort of running a familiar manual of arms if you're already an AR-15 user. But once you move beyond fantasy loadouts and start thinking about real-world survival, the cracks show fast. The AR-10 is heavy, complex, and notoriously picky about parts compatibility. You'll find at least 3 major pattern types: DPMS, Armalite, SR25, and not all of them play nice together. That means spare parts, magazines, and even upper-lower fitment can turn into a nightmare if the grid's down. Add that to the size and weight of 308 magazines and ammo, and you've built yourself a logistics problem disguised as a rifle. If you need 308 in your loadout, the Savage 110 Scout makes a lot more sense. Priced at $959, it's a bolt-action rifle built for accuracy, durability, and real-world abuse. You get a 16.5-inch carbon steel barrel, AICS pattern 10-round mags, adjustable iron sights, and a forward-mounted optics rail. It makes Scout-style scopes a breeze. The AccuFit stock lets you dial in length and pull and cheek height, while the AccuTrigger gives you a crisp, tunable break without aftermarket tuning. No, it won't run like a battle rifle, but that's the point. It won't burn through your ammo stash, won't overheat, and won't choke on carbon after a week in the bush. In a survival context where weight, maintenance, and parts availability matter more than rapid fire, the Savage 110 Scout gets the job done with less fuss, less bulk, and a lot more confidence. Number 8. The one gun does it all myth. Forums overflow with quests for the mythical jack-of-all-trades firearm. The dream is attractive. Carry one gun, one caliber, master one manual of arms. The reality is ugly, though. A gun that's light enough for rabbits isn't powerful enough for vehicles. A gun that's perfect for CQB patterns buckshot across a meadow when you need precise slugs. Trade-off stack until your miracle tool does nothing well. A better mindset is a paired system. Psychology plays a role too. Carrying 2 complementary guns spreads emotional load. If one malfunctions, you're not mentally paralyzed. A lone do-everything blaster that suddenly fails can trigger panic or hesitation at the worst moment. Redundancy builds confidence, and confidence preserves decision-making under duress. You can toss the carbine over a fence or loan it to a partner without feeling unarmed yourself, an option the single-gun philosophy simply cannot afford. I carry a Glock 19, MSRP $599, and a Ruger PC carbine, MSRP $649. Both accept the same 17 and 33 round magazine and run on 9mm, the most common centerfire round on earth. Pistol rides in a belt holster, carbine stays slung or stowed. If the carbine breaks, the mag slides straight into the sidearm. If the pistol jams, I have a 16-inch barrel and a red dot to keep threats beyond arm's reach. Another workable combo for rural living is a 357 Magnum GP100 revolver and a Mini 14, letting you cover everything from snakes in the shed to coyotes in the backfield without juggling caliber families. Systems beat unicorns because redundancy beats fantasy. And that's it for this video. Some guns sell dreams, but in a grind-down world, you need gear that survives chaos, not just looks cool on a gun forum. We broke down 8 overrated SHTF picks that preppers love to praise, but that come up short in real-world conditions. So here's a question for you. What's the most overrated survival gun you've ever owned or seen hyped to death? Drop it in the comments. Let's hear your stories. And while you're there, smash that like button, share this with your prepping crew, and subscribe for more no BS firearms content. Tap that bell icon so you never miss a post-collapse breakdown. Appreciate you watching.